Hello everybody and welcome back to my not sponsored review of my brand new custom built Digital Storm's PC. Now I have actually used Digital Storm for 3 PC builds over the past 10 years. Now I actually do have a history of building my own PC, and this video isn't going to be about the benefits of building your own versus having someone else do it. I mean, that's pretty obvious. It really comes down to how comfortable you are and what you're willing to spend money on. In my current situation, it is just simply much more convenient for me to have someone build a machine for me, test it, make sure it's running well, and then send it over to me. So the question becomes, well, how well did Digital Storms do on this build? For those of you who are really curious, I will put all the specs in the description of this video, but just so you have an understanding, this is a very high-end machine, 9900K processor, and an RTX 2080 Ti. Now my goal is to be able to play the latest and greatest VR games at 120 frames per second with my Valve Index while recording and streaming, and so far this machine looks like it's up to the task. I have affectionately named this PC.
I named the computer the VRinator because it's gonna terminate all the VR, because like Arnold, it's got so much lot more muscles. Yeah!
And Arnold may make 1 or 2 more appearances during this video, but let's stop fooling around. Let's get into everything wrong with this machine first. So first off, I've actually ordered this exact case before, but it appears they've changed the model. In my opinion, not for the better, and the changes aren't actually represented accurately on their website. The Velox case now has tinted glass on both sides, and it is held in by 4 separate knobs. It's actually a bit of a bitch to take on and off, and I'm also really concerned about those pieces of glass when they're not on the machine. Now, the next 2 issues I'm gonna think are because this machine took a little bit of a beating in transport. The box had a small hole on it. UPS actually labeled it for me as potentially damaged because you can visibly see that something happened. The case itself has a little scuff on it, and actually the USB I/O shield was moved out of place completely, and the cable was also completely out. Now I noticed this at the first 2 seconds of inspection, and the USB I/O shield popped right back into place, and obviously I just pushed the cable back in. Now I doubt the non-enthusiast would be buying a machine that's this expensive, but if you just happen to get a machine from Digital Storm with this defect on arrival, the average person might not know how to fix it, or might not be comfortable even trying. Now the next issue I had actually falls into the same category. The GPU was screwed in so tightly that I actually had to open the case, unscrew the GPU to get the back DisplayPort cap to come out. The brackets in the back were just overlapping onto that DisplayPort cap enough, and there was 0 give, so I had to actually take the tension off by unscrewing the GPU, and once the GPU was unscrewed, there was enough give for me to pull the cap out. Again, extremely frustrating, and something an inexperienced person might not know how to resolve. Now this one is a huge annoyance and potential oversight from Digital Storm. I have LED fans in this machine hooked up to a Corsair LED controller. The only problem is they are hooked up out of series, making the effect look horrible. Look, 1, 2, 3. At the same time, there's no software control, so the only way to actually change the lights is to open up the panel, stick your finger in, and press the keys. That makes 0 sense. Luckily for me, I can't stand RGB vomit, so I just like to keep my machine and all my peripherals in static red. That works for me, that's what I like. I can't stand the motion. Now another pretty serious issue, Digital Storm neglected to install any fan controller software. The fans were set to 100% all of the time. Out of the box, this PC sounded like a leaf blower. So I had to go out, download this software, set it up, adjust the fan curves, and now it's whisper quiet. And the fans only ramp up when they need to. Now my last complaints come down to just how long it took Digital Storm to build this machine and ship it out. From order to delivery was just about 2 months, which I think is insane. Somewhere during the development of the machine, it kind of got stalled for 10 days, and the second I emailed them, it started moving again. And speaking of delayed things, when I received the machine, both Windows updates, NVIDIA drivers, they were all a little bit over a month old. So it really feels like the machine sat around a long time before it was shipped out. Now on the plus side, the cable management is beautiful, it looks great. They usually set things up so that if you are going to expand, add more hard drives, the wires are exactly where you need them. Yes, you might need to snip some wire clips here and there, but it's all set up for future proofing. I did actually already add a PCIe USB card and power was right where I needed it. The case itself, and while I said I'm not a big fan of how the panel's actually removed, the case looks beautiful. I'm hit or miss with the tinted glass because, well, it doesn't really show off how beautiful everything inside is, but it still looks really clean and I'm definitely digging it. Obviously, they don't put any bloat or crapware on the machines, which if they did, I would never consider getting a machine from them. And I really did a deep dive into this machine when I got it to see if I could find anything wrong with it. It is currently stable as a rock. All the benchmarks I threw at it are running great. Temperatures under full load are falling beyond what I expected. Now, can I really give Digital Storm the credit? Because they're really just taking off-the-shelf parts, slapping them together for me. And that's what I need to stop and judge them on. How well they actually physically put the machine together, stress tested it, and handed me a perfectly working product. In that regard, just minusing the potential shipping issues I experienced, they did a great job. They professionally built this machine to my specifications. Now, something that's probably really important to you guys is, well, is this cost effective? Obviously, if you did the labor yourself, you're going to save some money. But I did a PC parts picker comparison, picked out every single item I have in this machine, added sales tax, shipping, you name it, and said, okay, I'm going to be building this machine myself. At the time I ordered the PC, well, I really didn't give them that much money to complete this build. Now, this is where some people are going to roll their eyes, and some people will say, okay, that's completely reasonable. But all in, I only spent about an additional $400 to have this machine custom built for me, set up and stress tested. That number may be insane to some, but for someone who has such little free time, $400 to actually have someone build the machine for me is a blessing, especially when I know I can rely on the actual build quality itself. Overall, I am really happy with this build, guys. I would recommend Digital Storms. There are some other companies out there that will beat their price, definitely. If you're on a tight budget or you're looking for something extremely cost effective, look elsewhere. Overall, I am extremely happy and I can't wait to get into some games. Currently, I'm playing Gears of War 5, Control, and everything VR related. If you found this channel because of this review and not because of VR related content, well, no, this is a one-stop shop for everything VR, guys. And my new VRinator computer is gonna help me make so much more lot of video content for you guys on the streamings and the YouTubes. Yeah. Alright, officially lost it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, well, click subscribe, give it a thumbs up, stick around, leave your feedback, come back more often, play video games with me. I'm running out of things to say. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I will see you on next time.